Hello everyone!
Welcome back to Drink Green Fabio. I'm Kate Brimmer.
And I'm Sophie Kayalfis. As you can see, we're both wearing matching shirts. They are from Thread Tank. And they say, never apologize for being a powerful woman. We love women.
We were told to pick shirts that resonate with our story. And so we went with females because we are a female duo.
Yes.
And we both really stand for female positivity and lifting up our fellow gals.
Yes. So join us in, wear these shirts, and tell the world that we support women. Use code SOPH and KATE10 for 10% off on your shirts. And
you can match with us.
You can match with us and be cute. Oh, and it's also comfort colors. So y'all know.
She's soft.
She's soft and she's got that little like, you know, that kind of like worn look that we love. You know. So let's get into it. Today we're talking about Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings.
Yes, this book is everywhere. It's all over Book Talk. It's all over Bookstagram. You've read it. Your mom's read it, maybe. And and we have just been seeing this over and over and over again that we had to jump on the bandwagon, and we thought, what better way to share it than with you?
Exactly. So we're going to talk about what we liked about the book, what we didn't like about the book, and then our overall rating. Magnolia Parks basically is Gossip Girl in London. It follows Magnolia and BJ, and they are a very toxic couple. That's pretty much all you need to know going into it. But from this point forward, we will be sharing a lot of spoilers.
So if you have read the book, continue to watch. If you haven't, go watch last week's video and come on back once you've read the book.
Yes. And let's do it. I didn't know what to say.
So we're going to start with our favorite parts of the book.
Yes.
Our likes.
Our likes. Okay, so we usually have 3 likes, and we start from like kind of favorite and then our top favorite.
We label it third, second, first.
Yeah.
So what's your third?
When Tara kisses Magnolia in front of the paparazzi so that they don't she's trying to distract the paparazzi from talking about her and BJ and Tom and all of that stuff. So she kisses her.
Yes, that's a great, and Magnolia at this point doesn't even like Tara.
Yeah, because she thinks Tara was the one that
anyway
BJ cheated on her.
Yeah.
So it's like
drama, and then finally you're like, Tara's a good
and
pal.
then Magnolia's like, wait,
Tara,
are we friends?
Are we in this together?
Yeah, and I loved that.
Me too.
It was so funny.
Jumping off of that, my favorite moment of the book was the triple date
Oh yeah,
ball, which is right before that, when basically BJ and Tom, because she's kind of dating them both at this point, are like, who's gonna take you to the ball? And she's like, both of y'all.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Oh, it's so
and the boys like get there and they like fist pump.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, she's awesome.
And I thought something really crazy and like dramatic was gonna happen, but it doesn't. Like they just are. I mean, obviously it's awkward, but they're both very respectful and they talk and they get to know each other, and it's just an overall good night. And I was like, that was cute.
Yeah.
I liked that. And they all acknowledge that it's messed up, but like,
but
we're gonna make the most of it, you know?
Exactly. And then they have like a group chat.
Yeah, that's my favorite part.
It's so funny. Okay. My second favorite is just Tom England.
My second is just Tom England.
He is... I love him.
He's golden retriever.
And I said justice for Tom England. I said he is the Cam Cameron.
He's the Cam Cameron
of Magnolia Parks.
Yes, Tom England's the Cam Cameron. They need to have a book for Tom.
I know. I want Tom to fall in love.
Because Magnolia does not get Tom.
Yeah,
like, no,
she's not
for Tom. Tom needs...
He needs someone better.
Strong, healthy gal.
Yeah, because Magnolia and BJ are going to end up together, obviously. They have to.
Like,
which I don't really want them to because they're not good for each other.
The only toxic thing about Tom is that he likes Magnolia. Like, other than that, and his, like, weird kind of love thing. But other than that, he's actually very healthy.
Oh, yeah. He's so respectful, so nice. And, like, he stands up for her so much, like, to BJ and other, like, the...
No, he's great.
I just
He's
love
great.
him.
He's respectful.
And like when they start becoming like friends and like actually like talk all the time and
I
stuff.
know.
And I'm like, stop.
Love him.
Like the whole
Love
time
him.
I was like, I just feel like she's not gonna pick him, but I just love him and I want him to find happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 1, favorite thing. My favorite thing is kind of general, but I just love her writing style. Like it just felt so real, relatable, and like it felt like the characters were talking to you as if you were like their friend. You're like their friend. So I felt like other books haven't really done that in that way. And like some of the things she would say about describing like how these characters feel were so poetic and like, but in a sense we're like, oh, I totally understand that. So I have like 2 quotes so we can like reminisce on the moments. So this is BJ. He says, I want to fight with her, feel the closeness I feel when we say things we shouldn't and go too far. And the other night when she shoved my face away, it broke me and made me fly at the same time because she can only hate me how she hates me because she loves me how she loves me. And I'm like, that
Poem.
like if
Poetry.
you've ever been in a toxic relationship, so many of these quotes I'm like, yes. And this one. The problem with me and Parks is I think we love each other more than ourselves. Again, that sounds romantic, but it's not. Because if she loved herself more than she loves me, she'd have fucked off years ago. I don't deserve all the chances she half tries to give me.
Fair.
Yeah.
Very
So, really good. Love the writing. What about you?
My number 1 moment is their trip to the lake house when they finally rekindle when BJ and Magnolia, because Magnolia is dramatic and runs away.
Yeah.
And BJ's like, I know where she fucking is.
Yeah.
And goes after her, and they fuck against the tree. And it's like this moment of like, finally! Because they haven't done anything. The whole book. It's like 300 pages.
They're not even kissing. They're not doing anything.
Not doing anything. They're sleeping in the same bed, but they're not even cuddling half the time. Like, it's the moment, like, literally the breaking point, and it was such a release for me because half the time reading this book for me, I was annoyed and frustrated, but in an intoxicating way.
Yeah.
And it was like the first moment of like, finally! Oh, I love it. Thank goodness.
Yeah, like we knew this was coming, so just do it already.
Yeah, and when it happens, it's so much more rewarding because the wait is so long.
Yeah. All right, now we're going to move on to our dislikes. Ooh. This was kind of hard because I really liked this book, so. My number 3 was just BJ. And not in the sense that, like, I didn't like his character, because I did, but, like, oh my gosh, he made me so mad. Ugh. Because he literally does it to himself.
Yeah.
And he knows he's doing it, but he still fucking does it. And I'm like, what the hell? I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Like, I would not put up with him if he was my boyfriend or whatever, whatever
Oh,
he is.
he's awful. As in, the things that I think it's so, yes, they do things to each other, but his is way worse.
Yeah, I agree.
His is way worse than what she does.
Yeah, I think she's just so dramatic. And, like,
She's
toxic in that way.
reactive.
Yeah.
Whereas he is
impulsive.
So he does something and she reacts accordingly. So if he never did it in the first place, it never would happen.
Yeah, exactly. He's the one that makes the problems happen, and then she reacts badly to them.
Yes.
Yeah. What about you?
My third one is the drug abuse in the book that BJ goes through.
Yeah.
It was the first huge turnoff for me because it felt like he was only doing the drugs to get a reaction from her. As in, oh, I see that she's doing this, so because she's doing this, I'm gonna start getting addicted to cocaine again.
It made you mad in the sense of that Jessa Hastings wrote that, or mad at BJ for doing that?
Both a little bit. Just because I feel like it wasn't taken in the most serious way, and it's like one of those topics that's like, I don't know, it's just a sore topic, and I wouldn't say it was taken lightly, but I don't know. For me personally, I just wish that wasn't a part of it.
Oh. I thought that enhanced the story. and like his struggle.
Yeah, and I can see that as well. But for me, it was the first like big turnoff. I was like, no, I don't want to see. I am fine with like his previous, like doing it and like that developing. But when he went back to it and like the lying and that being a big thing, that was like my biggest like, oh, I wish this wasn't in the book.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the point though.
It is,
That,
but
like,
I
you to
still
be like,
it was like my dislike.
Yeah, I get that. My second is when they like Magnolia and BJ just like sabotage themselves. Like, it's so frustrating to read. Not in like a writing sense, like I didn't like that Jessa Hastings did it. I just like, it's just heartbreaking. Like, because they both do things that mess it up so bad, and they know it too. They know it and they still do it. Like, whenever they're on that date and it's like they're like at the beach or something, or like whatever, and it's like their first real date, BJ Magnolia, and she asks him why he cheated on her, and because he won't tell her who it is, and he just says, because I wanted to, and then that starts this whole thing, and I'm like,
why would you even ask him that in the first place?
like, I love honesty, but one, she asked and then she didn't like the response she got, but she still asked, and two, he could have lied. Like, why did he have to be that honest?
Why do you have to be a dick about it?
Yeah. Like, he knew she was gonna get upset if he said that. So, it's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
They're frustrating. Because, like, just don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't do it. Anyway.
My second is the push scene where he physically, I don't want to say abuses, but like borderline gray area is abusive.
Yeah.
Like, physically. Because I just, again, I feel like you can't go back from that. And it's going to be really, really hard. And we talked about this earlier, too. Like, when I read it, I was so angry because I know there's a second book. And it's going to be really, really, really hard to win me over after that physical moment. Because to me, that is like end game. Like, you're physical with me, you put your hands on me, we're done, because that means you have those tendencies in you.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really, 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 really hard to win me back if there is a second book when I read the second book.
I think, like, when I was reading it, I wasn't reading it as a romance book. Like, I wasn't visualizing it like I'm trying to root for them as a couple. So when I read these toxic things, like, I expected it. I was just kind of like, yep, they're toxic. Like, yeah, I would picture that he'd do something like that, and that sucks, but I'm not rooting for them. Even if they end up together, I think it's just kind of like, it's more like a...
Well, I wouldn't call it a romance novel.
Yeah.
And I wasn't reading it like that, but I think regardless of it being a fiction, of a thriller, a romance novel, I always want to root for the characters regardless of like what they're doing, and I want to love the characters, and it's really hard for me to love them and like love the book when like something like that happens. It's like, and immediately, like, it makes me sick.
I think it's more like a study. I felt like I read it more as like, it's like a study on toxic relationships and just kind of like a fictional way to kind of experience it with them. So I wasn't like, I don't think I need to like these characters to enjoy this book. Like, I don't need to like them personally, but I can still like want good things for them. But I don't think BJ is particularly a good person.
Yeah. That's understandable.
I think he makes bad decisions, but I think he does care about Magnolia.
Oh yeah, I think he cares about her, but I don't. It's going to be really hard for me to continue reading about them being together, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think that's the point. My first one is just how repetitive the plot was at some points.
It's not even for
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's like,
so
if you've ever watched
repetitive.
Gossip Girl, it's like that. It's like, they're friends, and then they're not friends, and then they're friends, and then they're not friends, and it's like every episode they fight, and then the next episode they get back together, and it's like that. That's what it feels like.
She catches him at a club or at a restaurant or somewhere with a girl like 5 times in the book.
Yeah.
Where she walks in, he's having sex with another girl. A girl is on top of him. A girl's making out with him.
Yeah.
She sees it. She's like, I can't do this. And runs out.
And she's like, I hate you. And
the
it's like,
same thing. The exact same thing in like a slightly different location, doing something slightly different, and she runs away every time. And he chases after her every time.
yeah. And then he's like, I hate myself, and then he does it again.
For like, dude.
And then she goes to Tom. Or like goes to Christian or whatever, and is like trying to
here it goes
find
again.
another boy to like make her feel better.
Which again is probably the point. But I'm like, ugh, again?
I mean, I was in it the whole time. I was like, yes, eating it up. Like, I was never like, until the end, I was like, okay, like, you already kind of did this. But, like, most of the time I was like, okay, I love the drama I'm living.
I feel like after 3 is where it, like,
it's like,
end.
Yeah, it's kind of just like the same thing. Her, like, walking in on something.
And you're like, here it is again.
Yeah. And, like, part of me, like, I just feel like if you read Daisy Hates, you're gonna see, but like, when you read Daisy Hates, you realize how much more toxic Magnolia is than just seeing it from her point of view and Christian's point of view than like Daisy and BJ's point of view. I mean, Magnolia and BJ's point of view.
Interesting.
So, like,
keep that in mind.
Yeah, keep that in mind, because you think BJ's like the bad guy, but then you read Daisy Hates, I felt like, and I was like, oh, Magnolia's also very toxic. She is. I mean, they're both toxic. I mean, BJ's worse, but like, Magnolia's pretty toxic too. Because she walks into the situation and she has such high expectations for him, and she's disappointed every single time. And I'm like, when are you gonna realize that, like, that's just him? So you need to either love him when he's toxic and like doing this shit to you, or you need to leave him. Because she walks in and she's like, what? You're with another girl? And it's like, yes. This is the 3rd time it's happened, Queen. Like, what did you expect? I don't know. Silly. It's just annoying. I'm like,
yeah.
Come on. So anyway, that is our thoughts on Magnolia Parks. Are you gonna read Daisy Hates?
Yeah, I will eventually. It's just expensive.
Yeah, these books are expensive. And I just also love the London vibe.
Oh yeah, the whole vibes London are so fun. It's Gossip Girl in a book. It's so fun. It is so fun. So on to ratings.
Yes, ratings. What'd you rate the book?
I rated the book a 4. Because because I really, really loved it, but you know, those dislikes just like took it 1 star down, and I've been trying to be really picky about my 5ers, but it is addicting. You can't stop turning the page. It's a big book, and I read it pretty fast.
Yeah.
You can't stop. It's so well written.
Mm-hmm. I gave it a 4.75 because, like I said, I was just kind of repetitive, and I was like, you're kind of writing the same thing over and over, Queen, but I'm living for it. I'm still living for it.
Oh, yeah.
But let's change it up, maybe. But yeah, it was so fun. So good. Love all the vibes. And, I mean, I read Daisy Hates, like, immediately after, because I was like, I need more. So, I'm excited to read the next book.
I know. Fun. All right. You guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok, and we'll see you next week on
Drink, Read, Fabio.